The New York Jets need a playoff mandate in 2023. I want to tell you why. Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video. Before we get started today, just wanted to mention that you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. If you haven't already, please make sure to check out the Just Jets podcast. Also, this video is brought to you by Geology. They are a 16-time award-winning skin, hair, and body care company recognized in Men's Health, Hypebeast, Birdie, Esquire, and Ask Men grooming awards. Geology creates simple and effective skincare and hair care routines customized just for you with ingredients that are proven to work. Their products are built around just a handful of powerful, proven ingredients that have been trusted by dermatologists for decades. Right now, for a limited time, they are hooking you up with an absolutely insane offer. Ready for this? Buckle up. Use my code MattO'LearyNY50 for 50% off their award-winning skincare trial set. This discount stacks on top of their already current sale prices, and that's not all. On top of that, they are giving you an additional bonus offer on one of their brand new skin, hair, and body products of your choice when you add it to your trial. This is one of the best offers that you will see online. Get it while it lasts. Okay, so after the New York Jets were officially eliminated from the playoffs this week, I was thinking about this for a while. I didn't know how I wanted to word what I have to say. So instead of trying to write out all my feelings and just get it out there, I kind of instead wanted to do a raw, just react. I have zero notes for this video. I kind of just want to go off the chest, off the top, and tell you how I feel and why I think it's necessary that the Jets have a playoff mandate in 2023. Let me start here. I don't think the Jets are firing Joe Douglas, nor do I think they are firing Robert Saleh. I think that would be a mistake. I do think they showed incremental progress this year. Yes, expectations change when you start 5-2, 6-3, 7-4, and are in really good position to make the playoffs, but they did take that step. So it's kind of like, that is where I'm really conflicted. Because yes, there were signs of progression, and yes, there were some really nice things from this year, but at the same time, it's also kind of extremely disappointing because of the absolute collapse in the second half. And yes, you can call it a collapse. There were a ton of reasons why they collapsed. We did a video earlier in the week talking about why, whether it was the injuries to Breece Hall, Elijah Vera Tucker, and more, the quarterback play, the inconsistencies at head coach and offensive coordinator, the defense not creating turnovers, on and on and on and on and on we can go about why it was that the Jets collapsed. But the moral of the story is the team did have a collapse in the second half of the year. They're going to finish 7-10, 8-9 at best, which again, kind of frustrating because that's where most people predicted them to be. I said 8-9 before the season. I thought 7 or 8 wins, take a step forward, kind of see where you are, would be enough. But once again, if you finish 7-10 and end on a 6-game losing streak, that's a lot different than, hanging around, being competitive and being a tough team for a while. It's not exactly the same. And yes, expectations do change. And it's just in a league full of parity, in a league where these teams are able to have these quick turnarounds. Look at the Giants. They were abysmal last year with no direction at all. Make a change at GM, head coach with really, frankly, not that great of a roster. Dable gets a ton out of that team, and they are in a spot where they are going to be a playoff team 1 year after making that switch. Now, are they a finished product? Are they probably going to win the Super Bowl this year? No, I don't think so. I don't think that's reasonable expectations, but can they maybe win a game? And even if they get in and lose in the wild card, that is a massive success for that team. And for the Jets, it's been 12 years through many, 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 many regimes over that time. You had Tannenbaum, Idzik, McCagnon, Douglas, coaches, Rex, Todd Bowles after Rex, Gase, Saleh. They've run through the gauntlet of coaches as well, and they can't figure out anything, and they haven't been able to hit on a quarterback. And again, it's not the same GM that's missing on quarterback either. It's Douglas, it's McCagnon, it's Tannenbaum twice because Idzik drafted Geno. I apologize. It's Idzik, it's Tannenbaum, it's all of them. But the reason why I think it's important that the time to make a playoff mandate is now for the 2023 season is because how long can you just accept that it is what it is? And there's a lot that both Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh have done that I've liked, but eventually you have to have the results come with the good. They've drafted well for the most part. The 2022 draft looks really nice. In 2021, you have some pieces, whether it be Elijah Vera Tucker, Elijah Moore, etc. 2020 class looks tough right now. Free agency has been really rough for Joe Douglas. Maybe you make some changes in the pro scouting department because they've just had a lot of whiffs there. And now, because they weren't able to figure out the quarterback pick at number 2, you're going to have to spend money on a free agent quarterback. And no, they are not drafting a quarterback in the first round with the roster in the state that it is to go through and continue on this never-ending rebuild process for another year or two. Like I had someone tweeting at me yesterday about the Florida quarterback, Anthony Richardson. He's a developmental quarterback. He's not someone who I think could be plugged in and play and have success right away. That is a project. You want to draft a project with this defense at a top 5 unit right now, with talent on rookie contracts on the offensive side of the ball in Elijah Moore, Elijah Vera Tucker, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, on and on and on and on you go. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. I don't get that at all. I don't think the Jets are going to spend a first round pick on a developmental quarterback when you have a gaping hole at offensive tackle. You need linebacker help. You need safety help. Those are the 3 positions that I think Joe Douglas has to go crazy and really try to improve drastically this offseason, along with quarterback, which I think is going to be in free agency or via trade. So maybe you don't even have that first round pick because you have to give up a first. But the options out there, you could find flaws with all of them, whether it be Carr, Garoppolo, Minshew, Rodgers, Lamar, which probably isn't going to happen. Brady, a 46-year-old Brady is going to be the savior? I don't know, man. But it's enough is enough. In 2023, that's it. I want to have a playoff mandate. I want the expectation to be you have to make the playoffs because it's been too long. It's 12 years. If it's 13 years of missing the playoffs next year, you can't run it back with that same core. Now, if you want to say, I think they deserve a chance with a real quarterback, you go out, you get someone in free agency, let's just say Carr or Jimmy G, for example, and run it back with this staff, that's fine. But if that team isn't winning 10, 11, 12 games and making the playoffs, that's a major issue. That's an indictment. And I think you probably have to bring in new people at that point because you can't just have the continued failure over and over and over and over and over and over and over again and just sit there and say, shrug your shoulders and go, hey, let's just keep trying. Let's just keep kicking it down the road. And I don't really think it's asking a lot or saying that it's too quick of a hook for, what would that be, year 5 for Joe Douglas? Or that would be year 5 for Joe Douglas with no playoffs at that point. And Robert Saleh, year 3, no playoffs. That's enough time. That is enough. I'm not saying fire them now. I like them. I think they can get them to that point. And if they do make the playoffs in 2023, which I think should be the expectation and should be what they do, then great. That means you have something here. Good. That's a plus. But I'm just tired of the accepting of losing. That's what I don't like. Figure it out. You can't have the longest playoff drought in sports, pretty much, and just, it is what it is. The Sacramento Kings are probably making the play. I'm not an NBA guy, but the Sacramento Kings, I believe, have the longest playoff drought. They're making the playoffs. The Seattle Mariners just ended their drought finally this past year or 2 years ago, whenever the hell that it was. Figure it out. It happens all the time. There's parity in this league. There are teams that were abysmal last year that are playoff team. Jacksonville had the number 1 pick. They might be a playoff team this year. The Giants were supposed to stink, and they're a playoff team this year. And then there were teams that were supposed to be good that stunk. Denver, the Raiders, just a couple off the top of your head right there. Find a way. The expectation should be that they are a playoff team in 2023. And if not, changes have to be made. That's my take on it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments or on social media. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary, and I will talk to you next time.